Right, in today's array question, we have our 8 bead bar featured, and we have this 8 bead bar, and we have 3 of them laid out here. So important to remember when we talk about multiplication, there's always the multiplier, the multiplicand, and I really should add this other term, which is product. The product is the answer. And it's our job now to evaluate this array and come up with an equation for it. So knowing these terms is key. The multiplier is the number of groups we have, or the height. And we have 1, 2, 3, or 1 group, 2 group, 3 groups. And the multiplicand is the size of the group. Our group size is the bead bar. The bead bar is 8. So we're going to develop a multiplication sentence based on this. So we have our 8 bead bar, that's our multiplicand, and we have taken it 3 times. That's our multiplier, and we need to know what is 8 times 3. Now some of you might skip count and say 8, 16, 24. Some might need to actually count. Some of you may go, okay, well I know 8 and 8 is 16, and then count on 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. No matter how you get there, it's just important that you have the number sentence 8 times 3 is 24. So an important thing to notice is that we could also take this a little bit of a different way, and we could say we have a total of 3, we have a total of 3, we have a multiplicand, or a total of 3 in our group. But what happens if we took those 3 8 times? Let's start building that array. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, so we have our 8. I'll just line them up to make a beautiful array. And when we do this, notice its height changes, right? Because the multiplier is the height, and now we're multiplying a number 8 times. Okay, so before we were multiplying it 3 times, which is why you see that it has a wider base and a smaller height. And here we multiplied it 8 times, which makes it a little bit taller. You can see though it's the same rectangle, just the base and the height have switched. So in our pink one here, that's actually the 3 times 8, or 3 taken 8 times, but it still equals 24. That's why our rectangles are the same, right? But we can expand this fact family a little bit more if we wanted to as well. And so if we look at our questions that we have here with our array, we'll be able to complete this division sentence here. So let's go ahead and look at how we can create those division sentences. So just like in addition and subtraction, this is going to be a family, and we have the numbers 8, 3, and 24 in our family. So let's talk about division. Division is when we take a large group and we make it smaller. Okay, so now we know our large group is 24. But what are we dividing it by in order to make it smaller? Well, we're going to divide it using our families. So I'm going to insert my division symbol here so that we can continue our work in division. And I'm going to color it in so we can see it. There we go. So we have our division symbol here. We have 24, and we're going to divide it by either 8 or 3, it doesn't matter. But let's look at our arrays and see. So here we have a total of 24. And if I divide it by 8, that means I get 3 groups of 8. 3 groups of 8. So that means 24 divided by 8 equals 3. If I take this array of a total of 24 and divide it by 3, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that makes our second problem in this 24, and we'll divide it by, this time we divided it by 3, and we have a total of 8 groups. Okay, we have a total of 8 groups. Those are the fact families for this array.